Hello everybody, this is Dooku200 here back for another video. Today I'm going to be showing off build progress, I guess? I don't know what to call this, of a new custom that I'm currently working on. This is, I call it the whale. Ignore this little nameplate here. This is the proposed name I originally had for it, which is the Axiom, based off the ship from Wally. I don't think I'm going to go with that, but oh well. But yeah, this is a fully streamlined ocean liner originally designed by Norman Bell Geddes from, I think, 1930, 32, somewhere around there. It's been on my radar for quite a while, and I've been wanting to make it. And I had the layout, the outline of this, because I originally started with the middle outline here. So if you just look this middle outline all the way, that's what I had originally. And I had it sitting for about a year. And I finally was just like, you know what? It's time. It's time to do it. And so, yeah, the curving on this is all done by hand, not with any like programs or any fancy schmancy things. I wanted to try it by hand. Worst mistake of my life, by the way. But no, if there's any like weird bumps or anything, that's because it was done by hand. And so I'm proud of it still. It looks decent enough. Could go for some extra smoothing, which I might do in the future. But for right now, I think it looks fine. As a whole, I'm so proud of this. Like, just look at it. It looks so sleek. So sleek, so streamlined. Like, I think it gets the point across exactly how it should. And yeah, I'm really excited to kind of show off some of the interior on this thing, because I have a new build style that I wanted to try to go with this. Or not build style, but interior styling that was inspired by Norman Bell Geddes, of course. And that is the idea of speed. Harsh lines. So, like, think Normandy. Normandy also had this style of speed and modernity. Whenever we get down to the lower decks, like, it'll make a bit more sense. I'll explain a bit more. But yeah, we're going to start up with this top deck, actually. So this is the sun deck. Now, this inside of the funnel is listed as being a bar and a dance floor. So that's what this will eventually be, is the bar over in that far corner, and the dance floor somewhere around here, and just a lot of seating and lounging. And this is the only like actually open fully sun deck on board. There are a few back in the glass sections where the glass will open up, and so that those decks can also be, you know, sun decks. But for right now, that's just kind of what we got going. And then in the aft funnel, this is where the airplane hangar is. So if we actually got outside the funnel for a second. Oh, the logo didn't paste. That's fun. So this birch and diorite section, this is the door for the hangar. So this will swing open either side. And then there is a plane. So this is where the track for the catapult actually is stored. So it can, you know, go the full way in. And then there is two planes that can be housed here, two seaplanes. And it's typically just for, you know, mail purposes, kind of like what Bremen and the Ile-de-France had. I'm really excited actually to do that, because it's so weird, and I'm trying to debate how to make it look correct, and like how to make it make sense to someone who might not know that, oh yeah, there's an airport inside of this thing. Anyway, that is literally everything I got on the outside. The bridge itself is not even started yet. I got the hatch for a spotlight going right here, so the spotlight would be housed, I think, on this deck right here, and then right below this is the stage for the nightclub. And of course you got an observation deck up here, which would be accessible from a ladder that goes down into the bridge itself. The bridge itself is not started, of course, as you can see. The view from here is kind of not good either. I'm debating actually throwing some like a modern cruise ship would have, some windows that look directly downward, so that way, you know, you can dock the ship and such, since the viewing on this thing is atrocious. Like, there's a docking bridge to the very back. You cannot see it from the bridge. Like, there's no way. Gonna have to suspend your disbelief from reality just a little bit with this thing. I came to learn. But going down, this is the... So on the deck plans, this is listed as the, and I quote, Deluxe Suite deck. These Deluxe Suites are kind of crap. So be warned. I had to do a bit of budget cuts because of the glass here and the curving of the hull and everything. Because this is how it's shown on the plans. If I wanted the lifeboat deck to be as wide as this, the top deck had to be curved this extreme. Hey guys, it's Editing Dukesy here, just to point out that I was incorrect in saying the statement. I realized what I had done on the ship was not correct, and so I'm in the process of currently reworking this whole section to make it, you know, logical and hopefully make these cabins that I am bad-mouthing look a little bit better. And surprisingly, everyone who has looked at the ship really loves these cabins, so guess I was wrong. Anyway, back to the video. Bye. So yeah, these decks appear with these, and I quote, deluxe suites, had to kind of suffer, but I found a little bit of an alternative. Probably not for this forward 3 cabins, but definitely for all the ones after this. I kind of have an idea, which is, so all 3 of these cabins, okay, this is not the right one, this is the one I'm thinking of. So this is a 3 individual cabins, but you can combine them into a 2-bedroom suite. So it'd be real bed, this would be a Pullman, you pull it out of like a wardrobe style thing, so you can pull the bed down. This is what Normandy had, so like don't come at me. And then you got another 2 real beds. So this cabin here would have the pull down as well as a couch bed. Again, it's what Normandy had. Do not come for me. But yeah, all 3, because again, if it's connected as a suite, you want the full access to the deck. So they all have access to this. I call this the conservatory. So there will be deck chairs and everything, you know, eventually put out here. But the glass panels, this is my own headcanon, of course, because, you know, the ship ain't real. And there's not any other design sketches for anything on board that I'm aware of other than the lifeboats, which is from his motor yacht designs, but whatever. My headcanon is that these windows can retract downwards or upwards, so I haven't figured out which one's which. So that way you can actually have like an open deck in here. And yeah, that's why I call it the conservatory, because like it's not an actual balcony by any means. But yeah, putting like some fake plants in here and such, it'd be nice. That way you can at least walk up to the edge here. You can see a bit of the ocean versus like if you're just back here and it's full glass, like you can't see the ocean. The ocean's not being spotted by you. But it's also a good cabin for like stargazing. Because at night, the funnels might be illuminated. I don't know. I haven't got to this far into the plan yet. But I was thinking maybe you could sit on the deck and just stargaze. And if the cabins are split into like 3 different cabins, not in the suite setup, then we have these little dividers that actually will come out and connect to all the windows. So you at least have 1 opening window per cabin, and then 2 that are gonna get blocked a little bit, but there's not much else I can really do with that. So bear with me. And then behind the staircase and elevators, we have some air intakes. Now, this was a bit of an ingenious idea by me, is to put these air intakes in place of the windows, because there are no air vents on the outside of this thing, obviously. So I had to be a little ingenious and hide them in plain sight. So this will work for the AC to power for all the Deluxe suites on this deck, as well as functioning down into the lounge and other rooms below us. But yeah, a design principle that I kind of went with for this ship is a bit like the SS Atlantique, where you have this large middle street down the middle. Now this might change, only because I'm kind of panicking, because according to the plans, there should be 2,000 passengers that can fit on this thing. And so far, I think we have, with my layouts so far, I got like 1,100 something. I think I can put the number on the screen later, but yeah, I think it's about 1,000 roughly. And so I think I'm able to fit the full 2,000 complimentary with this middle hallway, because this is on every single deck has this massive hallway going from stem to stern. But yeah, I like the idea of this main street running down all the decks, because I don't know, it's neat. Since the ship is technically designed by American designers, that idea of having a main street just makes sense to me. Of like, yeah, that's the American thing to do, is having the main street. But whatever. So yeah, lots of these deluxe cabins are up here that are suites, but also can be converted into standardized cabins, etc., etc. Again, like I said, a lot of the windows are really not good. I'm probably going to have to go through and adjust quite a few of them, just so they match and fit, etc. But yeah, let's head up to the front, and then we'll go down. So the front of the deluxe deck, I guess is what we're going to call it from now on, is supposed to be officer cabins, so those cabins will extend all the way back up into here. But yeah, this will be all officer cabins. The captain's cabin is the entirety of the back of the bridge, basically, up to the spotlight hatch. But yeah, going down, we have this little tiny companionway. This will lead out to the lifeboat deck over here, and on the other side have the forward staircase. There is no elevator for the forward staircase, which I think is very weird. But that is what the plans that we have, that's what it shows, and that's what I'm gonna reluctantly stick with, because I'm very hard-headed, and I'm like, if the plan says it, I'm sticking with what the plan shows, even if the plan doesn't make sense. Because we have elevators for all the other staircases, so like, I guess it makes sense. I don't know. Queen Mary's forward staircase does not have an elevator, so like, I guess, no, it does. It does. It has two. Never mind. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me right now. I don't know what I'm doing. I might throw an elevator into this eventually. I'm debating it. I'm actually highly debating it, if I want to throw an elevator just somewhere up here, hidden maybe around the cargo hatch. Which, by the way, this is the only cargo hatch on board. No, sorry, there's another one on the back. There's two cargo holds, which is this main one that goes all the way down and extends into this forward compartment here. You can also load automobiles onto this deck, which that'll be fun to design. And then there's another cargo hold at the very back. But yeah, going back up. Nothing is on this deck per se. It's just the lifeboats that are not installed yet, of course, because I'm not wanting to deal with that. There's a deck sports area at the very back, which we'll spot. And yeah, also has the top of the lounge. But nothing too major. It's just going to house a lot of the AC units, pulling from the air decks that I mentioned before. But anyway, going down to the promenade deck, this will eventually be the Veranda Cafe. Either the Veranda Cafe or the Observation Lounge. I've not decided exactly which one I'm going to decide with, but I'm kind of excited for it. As of right now, I don't have any ideas for this. I'm kind of tempted to just use the curvature of the hull as like the focal point, because a thing with the speed style that I kind of am coming up with as I'm going is very sharp angles. So like, think Art Deco, like the sharp squares, mix those with the round of a circle, like arches and such. Anything to evoke speed, fastness. And again, once I go inside, you will notice it right away, of like these harsh lines that are like making you feel like you're going faster than you actually are. I'm thinking of using the round of the hull kind of with that, because again, with all these lines here with the windows, like it already kind of gives the angular vibe that I'm kind of going for. So we'll see how this goes. I think it'll work out eventually. I just need to come up with a good color scheme and like overall general idea for the room, which I might do later at work when I'm not doing anything. But yeah, going in here, this is the forward staircase. Again, there's not an elevator, but we're probably gonna put one in. And then going back, we have the ballroom. Now this is the room I'm most proud of, because I love it. There is one slight design quirk that I need to actually adjust before I finish the room off. This is the ballroom. It's beautiful. I do have night vision on, so like bear with me. The lighting in here is not finished. The lighting on the entire ship is not finished, clearly. But yeah, I'm gonna keep night vision on just because it is very dark everywhere, so we're gonna go from there. As a whole, I love this room. I think this is my favorite room on board, just because of how big it is. It feels imposing. It feels like it belongs on this type of liner. And a lot of people who I've showed this room to keep saying it reminds them of like the SS United States, and like I get it, especially with the big circle, because she had a lot of those on the United States. but I don't know, something about it just screams modern, and I don't know why. Maybe it's the giant circle dome in here. I don't know what's going on. I love this room though. And the chandelier was designed by Jaden_125, our little icon. He loves his chandeliers, and whenever he was doing this, he was like, I'm enjoying myself. So there we go. He was enjoying his time on the whale. Going back though, we have another little hallway here with exits out to the promenade deck. And now I'm debating if I wanted the exit protocol of if we have to disembark, if they're leaving from the promenade deck, because there's a lot of doors here. And ignore the windows, they have not been fixed yet. Or if they board from the lifeboat deck itself, because this is how it's designed on the plans, is you board from this deck, but I don't know. Because the boats should have a standard lifeboat and then a cutter inside of that, double packed. I don't know. It'll make sense later. Anyway, yeah, little doors out to the promenade deck here to kind of go around the ballroom and etc. Very ingenious, actually. Here, though, this is our main shopping plaza / thoroughfare. So this will have all your shopping displays. There will be more in other decks, but this is your main area for shopping and such. Over here we have the drawing room, which very much kind of a Normandy style with the murals. Again, try to go for that streamlined modern look, which is a mixture of Art Deco and mid-century. It's like that weird middle ground. And then, of course, on the other side we have the library. Now, this is literally just taken from Normandy. The circle mirror. The bookshelves are actually fully just taken from my Normandy model. I think Rilo did the library on Normandy. Yeah, that sounds about right. So, a lot of the design quirks in here are basically his, but I'm using them in here, and he's okay with it. So, yeehaw. Going back, this is your two main shops. Of course, they're not built yet because I don't want to make shops. I'm just not in the mood for it right now. But yeah, two main shops will be here. I've not decided what they are going to sell, but they will sell stuff. And this is your main lobby area for your staircases. Has this well that goes up to the top deck. I didn't actually mention, right here is more shops, I think. And then this is a card room, air quotes. Now, I might change that to something else, because the ballroom wasn't originally a ballroom, it was a music room. Ballroom makes sense. Card room might get changed to maybe an overflow lounge, or I don't know, something else, because it is a large room for just playing cards. I don't know. I'll probably need some ideas. I might turn it to... I have no idea. It'll be something. It'll be something cool. Anyway, going down, we have the Grand Lounge, or I'm actually debating changing this to the Colorado Lounge, because I know that Austrian Steamer Lines uses that name a lot, and I'd like to make some callbacks, because he also helped a lot with a ship that I was working on a while ago, and he actually donated some of his old ships to me to revamp and such, so I think it'd be cool to rename this the Colorado Lounge for them. I think it'd be really cool. But yeah, also, if you just look at it, it just screams, I don't know, American, Midwest, Western area. I don't know what it is about it, but it just reminds me of, Colorado for some reason, the Stanley Hotel or, The Shining. That's the vibe this room gives me, and I think that's really funny. And again, I didn't talk about it, so... speed, the style I'm going for. If you just look at here, all these lines just guide your eye into making it look like you're going down the hallway a lot faster than you are. It's weird. It makes sense to me, and that's what counts, I guess. But again, here, all the lines point to the back. All the lines are pointing. And so it guides your eye and your focus towards the end of the room. And yeah, I don't know. It's a cool design process, and it's really interesting. It's one of my favorites so far. I've really enjoyed doing this. But yeah, the Colorado Lounge, I'm really excited to actually get some chairs and stuff in here, because it's huge, for one. And it's also, I don't know, I really enjoy this. The lounge originally that was in here looked nothing like this on first build. And I'll throw up a picture of what that looked like originally, because, whoa, it changed a lot. But yeah, I am really proud of that. Going back, we have the aft staircase. Now, there's 3 main staircases for this entire ship, which we have the first one, middle one, this is the aft one. This connects up to the dining room down there. etc., etc. We'll get to all that later. And then, of course, behind this is the smoking room slash bar, which I think is interesting considering we're in the 1930s. Prohibition is around, so I don't know why there is a bar here. Maybe it's a soda bar. I don't know. But yeah, large windows to let natural light in. Air quotes natural light, you know, because there are some skylights that are right here that peek down into the lifeboat deck, so like I guess there is some natural light, somewhat. Not really. A lot of this will probably be illuminated glass, if anything. But yeah, back here, this is our sports deck. So I'm probably going to put like a fencing area like around the middle here, because fencing was a very popular sport in the 30s and 40s. And so, yeah, it'd be cool to have like two little matches kind of hidden in there, or maybe even like a tennis court around that area just to fill up that middle zone. And I know the plan showed a tennis court back here. I'm changing it. I'll get to that reasoning later. And up here is the other sports deck for the lifeboat deck. And there will eventually be staircases and everything connecting all this up. But right now, this is just what we got. Two things that were actually not originally on the plans are these boxes that are lining this room. So this is a crew staircase that will go and connect all the way down towards the engine room area. Just to, you know, add another area, or escape, basically. Because the ship is sectioned off into different zones for watertight purposes, and I have to have a staircase for crew in each zone. Either passenger or crew, you know what I mean. This is my way of doing that, is to put like a hidden staircase just tucked away. It's not necessary, it's just here for escape purposes from the engines, and like for passengers who maybe get locked behind a watertight door or something. They can still get to the boat deck and not just die, you know. Back here though, this is the engine hatch. So, engine skylights. This is not on the original plan. The original engines do not have any skylights or anything to connect up to them. So, I'm pulling a bit of a Normandy and putting a tiny little engine access hatch right here. I know that on Normandy, the one that they had, I think it went down to some type of air intake, and they had like a whole structure of ladders and things that went down to it. It did not connect directly to the engines, it connected to an air intake type area, so I don't know. Proceeding on, we'll have two staircases going down to this deck. Now, on the original plans, this was listed as the tennis court on board. Now, I didn't like that. I interpreted this as a hole that goes down to the swimming pool on the deck below, because that makes more sense. There will be tennis courts probably up on either this deck or, like I said, the deck above. Also, sorry, my throat is like not working right now. But yeah, I'm thinking up this top deck either just some loungers or even a bit of a cafe area, because I have a lot of space in here, because this is supposed to be the upper section of the gymnasium. And I don't know about you guys, I don't think we need a two-story gymnasium. So I'm thinking maybe cutting a little bit of the losses and just making the back of this some type of bar or cafe, or even like an overlook cafe down into the gymnasium. That might be a good idea. I don't know. Still working out the kinks for that, or even putting a bar up here, because, you know, you have the main bar back there. You can maybe connect it up. But yeah, down here is the swimming pool. Obviously, the slope on it has not been installed yet, but it will have different depths and etc. I'm debating also using a bit of the Normandy wave breakers for, like, when children want to come, they can use, like, this end of the pool. I don't know. I'm still debating it, because I don't want it to be like Queen Mary, where it's so deep it's unusable. And then back here, I have a question mark, because I wasn't sure what this was until I looked at the plans again. This is supposed to be a beach, so like a real sand beach back here, and that's probably not gonna stay. I don't know exactly what I'm gonna change this to, but it's not gonna be a beach. It might be like the children's play area, perhaps, so that I can like lock off the pool from that, but I'm just not sure. There's not a good idea of anything to put back here. If you guys have any recommendations of what to throw back here, just tell me in the comments. Oh my god, there's a Rilo. Okay, so back here, ooh, this is our aft cargo hatch. Just back here, it connects all the way up to the bottom. What's interesting is actually is the wrong spot. Am I the right thing in this? Yeah. That was gross, sorry. Right, okay, I remember now. I remember what happened now. I put an extra bulkhead back here because the whole thing was listed as cargo. And I was like, that doesn't make sense. So this is the main cargo hold, and the back of this is water tanks. That's correct. So yeah, had to do a bit of realism adding into that. But yeah, overall, it's a fun vibe. Yeah. So, okay, going back up, we're going to hit the deck right below the promenade deck. Now, this is the start of the hallways. This is what our main hallway for passengers will look like. It's very much pulled from Hide&Seek, but also with this kind of curved top. I don't know, it evokes, again, the speed feel, especially with, like, here in the purser's office. If you look at the lines, they're directing you all the way back into this area, which is like a tunnel, like a car tunnel. Yeah, overall, I'm enjoying it. But, yeah, this is, I want to say A deck? Yeah, this is A deck, I believe. And so we have the Information Bureau, which is literally 100% ripped out of Normandy. Like, this is exactly what Normandy has. Even down to the radio telegram little booths here. Yeah, it's just kind of fun. Again, shopping displays either side, you know, because it's a purse office. This is the nice thoroughfare for people. Shopping displays here make sense. Going back, we also will have eventually the beauty salon right here. So like barber that side, beauty salon on that side. Just like, again, just like how Normandy had it, because Normandy was very ahead of her time, very much. I feel like a lot of things that she had would be here as well. It just makes sense. Now outside, we have a lower promenade. And now people might be like, well, why'd you do that? Because like that doesn't make sense to have a lower promenade on a ship of this size, because she doesn't need to. But here's my dilemma. These massive windows with these like little sections here, I am not able to break these into individual cabins unless you want a 3-wide cabin all the way back, and that sucks. We don't want that for our passengers. Or having every single window as a suite. Now, I did make a lot of suites, but I don't need that many suites. So what I did instead was put a lower promenade, and then this is what I like to call the patio deck. So we'll have patio suites. Now if we look right here, this is a good example of a patio suite. So you have a little patio, a little private deck here, and then in the event of, oh, I want some more privacy, you know, for the winks, theoretically, this is obviously just a handrail, but like you can get the gist. Screens can be raised at the flick of a button, of course, because it's a 30s. Technology is amazing. And this will provide extra privacy from the windows, especially from down on this deck. Like, you can't really see in unless you're really trying to. But yeah, as a whole, I think this is an ingenious idea on my part, putting a patio deck out here. Because I've not seen another ship that does this. Because with privacy and everything on ocean liners, it didn't really exist. Because like you would have cabins that just looked right out into the promenade, like with a window. So I'm like, well, why not put a patio or like a private balcony deck here next to the promenade? I think Aquitania had something similar with her deluxe suite of where they get a private patio type area right next to the promenade. But I don't know, I thought it was a very smart idea. And I'm not going to go in depth with the cabins themselves because they're not that important. As you can see, just some of the styling, kind of a gray. This one is pulled off of like a Pinterest board I saw. And then of course this one back here, another Pinterest board. Very much just designs I find quirky. Right here though, this is the Promenade Cafe, just a little dining venue that way you can have breakfast or tea or anything that you kind of want here. Think of it as the Cafe Parisian, basically. And yeah, it lets you get some nice ocean views from this raised deck, as well as if it's like the sun setting or whatever, you could have maybe a nice private dinner or something out here. I don't know, some nice ideas. And then going forward, again, there's more patio suites. I can take a little gander into one of them. So nice setting room, bedroom over there, and another bedroom. There is not another bedroom. No, this is just one bedroom. So yeah, bedroom here. This design is pulled from the Queen Mary, like the wall design. Interior design, no, that's all me. But yeah, just has access to private deck. I don't know, it's neat. The bathrooms themselves, are not much to speak home about. We have a pink toilet. Every cabin has a pink toilet because I was like, man, we're getting fancy on this. And we just updated, so now we have like a bunch of new blocks. And I think it'd be cool to have those. So this is where the normal patio cabins start. So just a little cabin with 2 people that can fit in here. And then obviously you can connect them up for an ensuite or spy solo. Little tiny balcony. Nothing to write home about, but fancy nonetheless. And yeah, we've got quite a few of those in modern styles. This one's a style from Normandy, which is the blue and black from one of her private suites. And then of course, this very big window cabin. Another thing I like to say is these cabins right here have like tinted glass, so you can't really see through them, but like, I don't know. Maybe it's not practical, but like I enjoy the design of it. And yeah, this all connects up back here to the forward staircase. And now here's a bit of a dilemma. So here on the plan is listed as a kitchen, which makes no sense, but it's listed as a kitchen. And I assume it's a kitchen for the observation lounge up here, which probably could double as a dining room if that's the case, if this is a kitchen for that. Yeah, or like a pantry of sorts maybe is what it is meaning. And so I can maybe put more cabins up here, but yeah, it's kind of weird. I will say you do have a wraparound promenade. This connects the entire front and back, so you could do a whole lap around the ship basically. Well, within reason, of course, because the stern is so tapered back there, but whatever. So now we're going to get to the decks that are unfinished. So up here, this is where the forward mooring station will be. So this is actually, if you remember from the outside, this is the balcony at the front of the ship. This is your mooring deck. So when you tie up the ship and everything, you're able to take parts of the bulwark off, and there is holes and like hatches that you can throw the lines in that'll all connect up into the main mooring area. And then, as well, again, we're pulling another Normandy here. Go figure. There's another forward mooring station at the very tip of the bow as well, just for extra support, etc. And just to kind of go over kind of what we have, with forward hatch, you just got more steward cabins and like different things like that. And then right below this is the crew, the start of crew. Again, we're going Normandy with this because I like how she has her crew set up. And I'm probably going to substitute like her third class for crew on this, if that makes sense. We're reversing some things. So this is the start of her forward crew, mass bathrooms here, and a lot of just unit areas for mass bunks. I probably will go for the same style as Normandy with the mass bunks, only because it was very useful, if that makes sense. And it didn't end up being too crowded feeling. But yeah, and of course you have the main staircase right here for crew that go all the way down to what will eventually be like their Scotland Road down here at the very bottom that connects the bow and the stern of the ship. Whatever. Going back up. This is our veranda deck, so this will also hold the chapel. So it's a 2-story chapel for now. I'm debating making it just 1 story because, again, we need to hit that 2,000 passenger mark, and I'm kind of getting nervous. So we might shrink this up a bit and put some interior cabins up on the upper deck. We'll kind of see what happens. But around here, we got just more kind of luxury cabins. These are very wide. This is the suite deck. This deck and the deck above are all suites listed. And this is the start of our veranda cabins. So this is a 2-bedroom veranda cabin. You got bedroom 1, bedroom 2 right here. This is the dining room, setting room, and then of course your veranda, which has full access out here. And there will be a railing along the bottom there. We've got a lot of those, a lot of interior cabins as well. More of these right here. I like to copy and paste the design. This is our massive suite right here, though. This is a 4-bedroom suite with private dining room that can be completely locked off, large setting room, which also have a piano inside, and then a large veranda, which will also have dining tables and everything that can be accessed. Overall, this suite is huge. Of course, I claimed it. Everything on this suite is just set to the grand scale as much as I can. And then after this is where it gets kind of weird and wacky. So again, we have this main thoroughfare connecting the bow and stern, obviously, and these little hallways that just intertwine around everything to get smaller cabins, because we don't want something of this depth all around the ship. This makes no sense. Something of this size here, which is a little larger than the forward cabins. This is much more suitable, because I can fit 2 beds in here, a couch, and maybe even a little dining area like by the porthole or something. It just makes more sense and economic-wise to do that. And I can, you know, design it a little nicer. And then, of course, more suites, more interior cabins. Right here, this is another AC area to pump air into all the cabins nearby. Now, every cabin does have a private bath and toilet, so there are no communal bathrooms on board. It's not needed, etc. There are, or will be, bathrooms around public areas, of course, but like around the cabin decks, it's not needed because every cabin has a bathroom, so like, yeah. This is another larger suite. This is another 2-bedroom with pantry, and the entrance actually got broke a little bit, but has a private entrance hall right here where you can also store your luggage. It's kind of cool. But yeah, these were claimed, or one of them was claimed by our favorite little guy, Will. And then going back, we actually hit the cinema. So this is just forward of the 2-story gymnasium. And this is inspired by one of Norman Bel Geddes' designs for, I think it was the Ukrainian Opera House? Yeah, that sounds about right. It's based off that design. Obviously, it's my interpretation of it because it's on a smaller scale, etc. But I think it worked out very well. Again, it takes that speed motif into effect with all these harsh diagonal lines mixed with curves, guiding your attention down towards the stage. And even when you're done here, like, you can just see it. It kind of flares out. And I don't know how to describe it. It looks really cool in my opinion. I like this room. I think it came out really nice. The lighting in here is also really good. You have these lanterns that kind of are accessed on either side, and as well as it hides, because the room is, you know, pinched at the front, it hides the crew staircase right here really well as the engine hatch right here very well. So everything just lined up very well and made sense, and I really love that. And around the sides of the theater will also be 2 more veranda cabins and then a few more standardized cabins. And yeah, that's all for this deck. Now the deck below this is where things start getting weird. So this deck, I did the math on it, and it can hold up to 500 plus people. Or passengers anyway, 500 plus passengers, which is crazy considering the deck right above this one only holds about 300. So going from 300 to 500 passengers on this deck is insane. This is also where you would board. So right here is your main boarding area, you go in here. And then originally this staircase did not go this way. You had to go around to the main area, and I was like, this just doesn't make sense. I don't like the vibe of that, because it's like you're putting a grand entrance to the boarding area. So like, I kind of opened it up a bit, gonna have like a kiosk and stuff right here. You got the main kiosk right here actually, which have a map and such of the ship. And yeah, having the staircase split right here, I think was the best idea, because this leads up to the main suite deck, or you can turn, and obviously you're already on this deck or whatever, but you can go down to the dining room down there. Yeah, I don't know. It was a cool thing when I first designed it. Where am I? Here I am. Okay. But yeah, going through, these suites are much smaller than suites. These staterooms are much smaller than the suites above, obviously, only being 4 blocks wide, but very deep. And as you can see, there's a hallway that stretches all the way down. Very fun. Down to the very end, I'm not going to show it because it's not started yet, but I also have planned the fire station back there for, you know, if the ship's on fire, we have a fire station that can monitor the ship as a whole. And yeah, bulkheads and everything are all installed right here, these little doors. And then forward boarding up here by the forward staircase. There's a lot of these boarding doors just dotted around this deck. This is pulled directly from the Norman Bel Geddes model of the whale that he had. I don't know. I tried keeping it as close to the model as I could. Obviously, the window punch-outs are completely different. I try to make them just in bunches of 3, because 3 is a good number. It looks cool on the outside. Kind of just works overall. And then this deck, we got more cabins. A lot of this is just stacked straight down, just to save me some time and money. These cabins are even smaller at 3 blocks wide, but I don't know, it's able to still fit the full bath, and these ones will have a shower versus a bath itself. And with these ones I can also break that and give even more space, because we don't really need that second wall for a bathroom. No one's really going to pay attention to it. Going back though, this set of cabins actually is going to end, I want to say around either here or a little bit farther back, around like maybe the engine uptakes or engine shafts right here. Only because on the plans, everything after this is listed as crew. So that's also part of the reason why those cabins are 3 wide, because I can fit more of them. Because again, we want to hit that 2,000 mark. I am determined to hit it. But yeah, now we get to the dining room. So there are 3 dining rooms on board. There's the main dining room and then 2 massive restaurants. So this is just one of the dining rooms. This is the main dining room right here. Eventually I will have the wings cut out. I'm thinking kind of expanding this side so it comes out to where this wall right here is, and then opens up another layer down here. I don't know, I'm debating doing it, but it would just be like the middle section, so that way I can still have the crew towers on either side, because the bulkhead runs right through the middle of this, I think. Yeah, a bulkhead starts right here, so I'll have to make it work somehow. And then right below this actually is the kitchen, so yeah. I might also move the kitchens to maybe behind the dining room, maybe, because it makes more sense to do that, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think main kitchen can go right there, and it would connect to the dining room and the aft restaurant, and the forward restaurant can have its own galley right below it, and be connected via the main crew Scotland Road something. But yeah, the forward dining or restaurant actually is right here. I definitely stacked on top of it. It should be this length, so that pillar to that pillar, and then up to this deck. I completely messed up, and I just stacked everything down, like I said, so don't look at it. But yeah, overall, that is what I have so far on the whale, and yeah, I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are excited for this as well. I think as a whole, it's coming out really well, surprisingly, and with the interior, I'm also very proud of it, but yeah, we'll see how this goes in the future. But for right now, thank you guys for watching. This has been Dooku 200 with the Whale Project. I will see you guys in the next video, hopefully with a name for the ship. If you guys have any suggestions actually to what to name this, let me know. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!